challenges that home buyers actually facing right now.
Yeah, we're filming this at the end of 2023, and 2023 has been a roller coaster ride for home buyers. And that's really kind of where we're making the video, because I don't know what 2024 is going to hold, but if 2023 is any indication, this wild ride that we've been on, it's something to face. And then also, if you're facing any of the situation, hopefully you find this relatable and you understand why it might seem like a hardship at first. Is actually going to be a benefit in your future as well. So all of it leads to the golden road of you owning a home, which is an amazing thing.
Yes. And the first thing that we wanted to dive into it basically is personal financial issues, because many home buyers basically facing difficulties to the inadequate saving or income at 2023, end of 2023.
Right, so interest rates raised those home prices, raised how much that monthly payment is. Even if you could afford a home last year or 2 years ago, and the payment was going to be, I'm going to make up a number, $1,700, and you were like, I can afford it, but I didn't at that point, and then you went to go buy the same house that you would have paid $1,700 for, and now it's like $2,500 or $2,700, depending on the timing you actually bought that house in 2023 or were thinking about it. So it affected a lot of people's bread lines. It affects how much that payment's going to be. And a lot of people don't have their savings in order, and they're not as ready as they even think they are.
Exactly. Especially in North Carolina, that we need to have also the due diligence that you need to right away to pay it to the seller when your offer accepted. But, however, before we dive into the more details, we wanted to do our introduction.
Absolutely. So let's hit it. Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel and podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast and YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and get notified.
Also, call text all the time at 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Don't be shy. Also, don't forget our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below.
Exactly. After the financial difficulties and issues that many home buyers face, the second thing really is the mortgage qualification. Because we went during the COVID from 2 to 3% all the way to the 8%, at the filming of this video.
But at the filming of the video, it actually has gone down to like 6.7 or 6.6
for FHA loan.
For the FHA. So there's, hope at the end of the tunnel, hopefully in 2023. So maybe the roller coaster is on its way down, or maybe it's up. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do not have hopes. But either way, what you qualified for before isn't what you qualified for later on, depending on what those interest rates might be. So it was affecting people's bottom line when they were like, I want to own a home. How much house can I afford? And now those monthly payments mattered more than anything. What's another issue you've had?
The main issue also was a credit score. Many home buyers, they had issue with their credit score to up it to the where they can basically get qualified for a mortgage. That's why we actually recorded lots of videos and series about how you can boost your credit score to the point that you can get a mortgage.
Yeah.
And the third thing that I wanted to mention beside of income saving and the credit score is debt to income ratio.
Oh, okay.
That we have tremendous also information and videos that we recorded, and we are going to record for you as a home buyer to understand this is the second main issue after credit score that each home buyer really face in 2023 going toward 2024.
Another thing I want to talk about is inventory, like how amount of homes. People who already own a home are staying in their homes longer. A lot of homes did not hit the market, and prices were still continuing to increase.
Exactly.
I've had one buyer realize that just now, recently, that if they had bought last year when I was bringing them to the same houses, that they would have had $20,000, $30,000 worth of, this is a specific case, but they would have had $20,000, $30,000 worth of equity if they had bought the first time we had seen these same homes. So, that was a situation of new construction and just tremendous appreciation happening in a specific area.
That's why also we're doing every month the market update in our area, actually in Pitt County, North Carolina, to make sure that we update all the home buyers and home sellers in the status of the market, about the inventory, supply, and demand, how the market is going on.
Right, and I want to also quickly add about interest rate hikes is, I didn't know this, but it's something really interesting for me is when our banks hike the interest rates, if you're already a homeowner and if you were paying 3% before, they don't change your interest rate on your mortgage because you borrowed from the government or something like that. It doesn't change because interest rates were hiked for new buyers. So people who are already settled in their home in America, that's apparently not true. In Europe, when the interest rates go up, it affects everybody. People who are already in their own homes, they would also get hit with an interest rate.
Even you bought it with the low interest rate, your interest rate is going to go up.
Your interest rates change whenever the government changes. For us in America, I did not know that, but I found that an interesting factoid to throw in there.
That in America, at least,
once you're stuck,
once
you're stuck
when
in
you're
the
locked,
once you're locked, you got your home, you got the keys. Though that's it. It's fixed. It's done.
Awesome. And the second chapter of this really podcast and video is dedicated to the importance of financial preparation, because we said we address all the issues for you about the financial difficulties, mortgage, and also inventory. And now the time is how we can address them. Now, and the first item is really adequate saving.
Right. Now, you don't need to save 20%. There are mortgages out there which is 1%, even 0% down, but you still need some money, cash to close. Appraisal. So there's still money that you're going to need for these homes. We have a whole series on this stuff, so I don't want to focus too much in detail on your credit worthiness and having savings, other than to say you don't need zero. We should talk to a professional to understand what it is that you need, and or talk to us, because sometimes I can get you if you're down with a specific home builder, I can get you a low interest rate, closing costs. So it's really just about you coming down with the down payment that they require.
Exactly.
Whereas other places, you might go with a USDA loan or something of that sort. So I want to make sure.
Which is not all around the U.S. Not everybody can use the USDA loan because of the income and also the location of the house. And the second thing that we wanted to talk, understanding the mortgage.
No, I want to talk about competitive offers, because that's more of what we are. Okay, so in North Carolina, you have that due diligence fee, and that's really kind of the key for how much you're putting down on that home, and it really is going to make your home competitive. If you do not pay the due diligence fee, your likelihood of getting that home has diminished entirely.
Yes. Therefore, definitely, beside of the earnest money that other estate they have, and do you want to talk about the mortgage qualification?
Not really.
Okay. And the third things that my wife actually mentioned is about the competitive offers. What do you wanted to add about?
New construction is a great option. We can take you to a lot, pick your lot. It's going to be there. I mean, if even with low inventory, if you can wait and build a new home, that's of course amazing.
Yes.
If you can't, that's okay too. We can definitely still go out there. We understand realtors should know what it is. Understand that we make the offers knowing what the current markets are. We know what the interest rates are. We know what competitive in our local market. I do not. If you ask me what's going on in Florida, I can't tell you what's going on in Florida with how to make an offer there. I can tell you here in Greenville.
The whole point really is understanding the market dynamics, because we wanted to understand this is a buyer's or seller market, and wherever you're watching this video in any part of the United States, maybe your market is different from our market in North Carolina. And it's still in our Pitt County, we're dealing with the seller's market in some extent, and that's what we wanted to understand. And the next thing that we wanted to talk about is flexibility and prioritization.
Absolutely.
Which is super important. And that we wanted to manage our expectation, and
have your needs versus wants in your budget in mind when you have your needs and wants. Because if you want something that the market does not have, there's nothing I can do to make the market have what you desire, because I can't make a house. Like, I can't just snap my fingers and create this magical home that you want at your budget. I can't do that. But what I can do is say we should have a realistic, what is the market at your budget going to offer, and have your needs versus wants. And then we find the best match possible for you. It's never going to be perfect. No house is perfect.
Exactly.
Even if you bought new construction, a new custom ordered this entire thing, you will still have problems. Like everybody, there's nothing in life that's absolutely perfect.
Therefore,
we have to let go.
That priority is really important, that you say what is the most important things for you, because you might have 5 items and 4 of them you can get it, and the last one you cannot get it, and you should see which one is the most important and is deal breaker. The next thing that we wanted to talk is basically navigating interest rate and prices.
And this has been the biggest issue of 2023.
Yeah, yes.
Right? Let's be honest. Home prices have gone up. Inflation, inflation, inflation. What does inflation mean? I said inflation, inflation, inflation. What does that mean? Prices increasing, prices increasing, prices increasing. Prices have increased for meat, for milk, and for housing. It's
which is what, 200 items?
I mean, that's a market basket, but that's a whole other question.
Basket,
But home prices are increasing. We've seen continual appreciation here of our homes in our Pitt County area. We just see it every single month. We talk about it in our market update. I've never said depreciating. I've always said appreciating.
Exactly.
Why? Because it's a fact. House prices are increasing. What will they be next year? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But I do know that if you have what you have now, it will more likely appreciate in the future, which is great because you take care of it. Another thing, you want to talk about those interest rates and the roller coaster of 2023 with interest rates?
Yeah, but the good news is that at the time of this video, FOMC from Federal Reserve, they look at the data for economy trends and also basically inflation, and they didn't raise target interest rate, and they still kept it at 5.25% to 5.5%, which is a good deal for many of you that you wanted to shop for homes. And we are hoping that this is stays till January, the next meeting.
Okay, so we always recommend, if you're looking for a real estate agent, make sure you're getting someone who's staying up to date on the market, staying up to date in their local market, staying up to date on what's going on in the financial world, staying up to date the way we can give you the best possible information out there.
And insight, exactly.
Like us.
And thank you for your paying attention. We love to help you. Call us if you're home buyers or home sellers at 252-327-3357. Also, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a comment. We love to hear from you, and see you in next podcast and video. Thank you.